started off talking about how you're just like a fuckboy, and then you just wanted to volley it right to me.
You know
just
what?
set me right up.
Dig me out of this.
Yeah, no, I'll just dig us a deeper hole. Yeah, I think, because I don't know if dating is hard, like from a guy's or from, I can only speak to my perspective, I guess, but like, I feel like, I don't know if dating is hard. I feel it's more like when you go past dating, it can get hard. Like when you get to that point, like the first month can be easy. You meet someone, you're having fun, you're hanging out, even if they have an annoying laugh or they fucking chew with their mouth open or some shit, you're like, all right, I can get past this. Let's see what sex is like, right? But after you get past that, and if it gets kind of good, then if that goes on for a month or two and you're like, okay, well now I need to figure out, do we go to the next step so I don't feel like I'm wasting this person's time? Because I do think it's super important to always
3 month
be respectful.
window. You got a 3 month window.
I think 2 to 3 month window is reasonable. Like if you dating someone, especially I can speak for like when I'm married now, but when I wasn't, I dated a lot. And I feel like as long as you're open and honest with what you want and where you are mentally and what you're looking for, you normally have at least 2 months without the woman feeling like disrespected or you wasted their time or you're playing them, as long as you let them know like, hey, I'm in a place right now where I'm trying to figure things out and just want things to be casual until we feel like it's time for the next step.
Okay, I'm going to stand up for 2 seconds. You guys tell me how tall you think I am, okay?
But we're like so low right now.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2.
6'3".
Okay, 6'3" from Tarun, thank you.
5'7".
5'7".
5'8", maybe.
5'8", okay.
5'9".
Wow, okay, I am 5'8". Yeah, that's awesome because most people tell me I'm 5'8", but I have 5'10" vibes.
You wear lifts in your shoes, by the way, too? 'Cause some
No,
guys
I
do
don't.
That. Seriously, I thought you were like 5'9", 5'10".
So I had a friend tell me that because I told him I'm 5'8", and he goes, "No, we have to measure you right now." I'm 100% sure you're 5'10". We measured, and I'm definitely 5'8".
How do you guys feel about Doc Martens? They add height for guys in ways that like, well, I guess now you guys know, but like if you wear Doc Martens, like the sole is like thicker. I feel like that's like you guys like push up bra.
It's
like
like the
male
heels.
version of it.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I'm 6 feet tall, by the way, 6'1".
I mean, but you could always be taller. I mean,
Oh my God, really?
You can always be taller.
I mean,
So wait, is height a big deal for girls? Would you date
It's a
someone
pretty
who's-
big deal. I mean, we can just,
Oh, Richard,
I'm not insecure about it, but it is a big deal.
girls, what do you think?
You know what? For me, being 5'2", it's a big deal. Because I'm not going to date somebody shorter than me.
So if he's 5'3" and above, you're fine?
No. No, I mean, like, I don't know. Yes, it is a big deal.
Why?
I don't know.
Genetically? Because you were like, my kids have got to be basketball players? Or something?
No, I don't care about that. Like, that's whatever. But no, I think like it's a big deal in terms of like I just want to feel attracted to the person. And like, I feel like 5'2" and 5'2" is not going to work.
Yeah.
But what did you say, 5'3"?
Yeah. I mean, what's your,
No,
do you have
like
a cutoff?
at least like 5'5", 5'6", I would consider that. But like 5'2" is like a little too little.
Yeah.
I'm too little.
Seema Taparia is not my matchmaker anymore.
Wait, so what happened with that?
Yeah, we want to know about that.
Yeah.
When the first season came out for Indian matchmaking, my dad got on it and he was like, he just called Seema Taparia and he was like, my daughter, she's in LA, she's looking for someone. And she did introduce me to a few people, but I think Seema like low-key hates me because I am so picky. And like whatever the criteria, whatever was for her, she just feels like, I'm just, my criteria are just off the chart. But it really isn't.
No.
But
No, have you seen who she matches? Like, it's like she doesn't have criteria to match people.
or I think that like she and I would just get into like, we would have like a little tiff about, what she thinks is right for me versus what I think is right for me. But I do understand the logic of you do need to compromise at some point in life.
Dude, she wants everybody to compromise on everything.
Yeah,
She'll be like,
yeah.
so she wants a guy who's 6'3", makes $100,000, but you will not get everything. And then she like shows a guy that's like 5'2" and like doesn't have a job. She's like, you have to like let love grow.
yeah. You remind me of that meme or like that thing that's going viral. I want a guy who's 6'5".
6'5".
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
finance.
6'5",
looking for a
Finance,
guy in
blue
finance.
eyes.
Yeah.
Trust
Also, the way she
fund.
says it, it's so funny. She's like, finance,
Yeah.
6'5", blue eyes.
I know.
I kinda
You
respect
play
the
that?
confidence,
You need
you
to
know?
overplay that
Yeah.
over us. It's
And I'm
really good.
like, brown guy, finance, not an artist.
But I think you
Oh,
should
yeah,
be
definitely
picky,
not an
though. You
artist.
should definitely
Artist.
be picky if who you match with. I mean, procreate with. I mean, this is important
Yeah,
life
exactly.
decisions.
It's a life decision. And I've already been through that. Like, I've already been engaged. So I know that sometimes everything can work out. And, you know, you can have family compatibilities that don't work out. And you don't think going into it that's going to be a problem. But then the closer you're getting to marriage, like you start to realize, wow, we really did grow up differently. You don't even think about how family compatibility is something that's, you know, worthy of thinking.
Did she put you on a date with anybody?
She did, yeah. I went on a few dates with guys that
Oh,
she
nice.
introduced me to.
What happened?
Great guys, good families. I just sometimes was bored. She's introducing me to good families and guys who grew up similar to like my background. But there was just something missing in terms of like,
You want a
I would just get
badmaash.
like maybe a little bit of edge. Yeah.
I can let them borrow my leather jacket.
Yeah. But also they need like a little like leathery personality too, you know? Like just like a
Yeah.
little bit of an edge.
Like someone who calls you badmash in bed.
See?
But most
put
Desi
that
guys
on your
don't have edges,
biodata.
though, right? Most guys are straight laced, or am I wrong? I feel like most Desi dudes are just kind of traditional.
I think that what I mean by edge is just having sort of like a fun personality. Like you're interested in a lot of things, right? Like it's not just about your job or your like family or whatever. Like you have other interests, like you play piano or you're into like
Yeah.
I don't know, painting or something.
A lot
you know,
of
just
Indian
like
guys,
having
they think it's-
activities.
Yeah, they think it's like an interview, right?
Yeah.
They're like, I've been working at my company now 4 years, up
Yeah.
for promotion.
You know
Yeah,
what though?
yeah.
I feel like the format of getting matched up and or going on a date can be very interview like. So last night what I liked was and the guy mentioned it later. He's like, "Oh, I did have a reservation for like a table, but we ended up sitting at the bar." He's like, "I just feel like the table is very interview like where you're sitting across from each other."
That was bullshit, by the way. He was like, "Oh yeah, I made reservations, but I think we should sit by the bar, by the bathroom.
but-
This would be much more romantic.
I've definitely done that.
You can make reservations.
So
Welcome to the Cheesecake Factory."
Did you answer your flaw?
Well,
he didn't get feedback.
He did.
Get
He
any
just
feedback.
passed it
I
on.
can
Well,
give
I-
feedback. You went on a date with me, I'll give feedback.
off one date.
Yes.
No, I want to know what his
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting.
I want to more hone this response.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
I'm game. Yeah.
So Tarun's feedback is
okay.
that he is a lovely person to go on a date with. He's very sweet and caring, and like, you know, he'll hold your hand, like he'll pay for the whatever we're having, and like he'll make sure that you don't get deported. But I think what happened is that like you just like dismissed me, like.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, like, you know, we can see each other a few times, but like, you know, I'm not sure yet. Like, let's see each other a few times. But then you just like cut contact completely. And like, I think it was a way of like protecting yourself, maybe, that you were just like, okay, like, bye. And then after that, I didn't hear from you for like years. And I was like, is Tarun okay?
No, I promise you, that was not even
The
a
show
thought.
has changed.
I was like,
Why did you guys start with this?
I thought you liked
Oh, by the way,
me.
she has no idea what the hell we're talking about. She wasn't here for the
I
last
think she's
episode.
getting the gist of it. She's very smart.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the gist is that you guys
We
like
went on
sort
one
of
date.
dated, or
We went on one date, and he was like
Yeah.
really sweet, and like I thought like he liked me and everything. But then like we exchanged a few texts, and I was like, let's get to know each other a little bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
And then he was just like, okay, bye. And I'm like, okay. And then he was just gone.
That sounds like me. I'm
Yeah.
not denying that. But the way I operate is like, if I don't hear anything back, I just assume the other person's not into me.
Yeah.
And so I just move forward. I'm like a shark. I'm like, okay, I'll just keep moving forward. Like I don't emotionally invest in people unless I get feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably was just like, I'm trying to remember exactly, but it's hard for me. But I probably was like, okay, let me just keep moving forward.
Yeah, I get it. It's a
So-
defense mechanism for many people to be like, oh, you know what, I have to protect myself, so like, let me just cancel this person.
But we get the opposite advice.
I want to know something though, because he brought up a good point, and I don't know if it's a defense mechanism. Actually,
Yeah.
I would say that actually, like, did you give him any indication or inclination that you were interested?
I'm sure that chain is still there.
Like, did you? did you actually like say, like give him some sort of clue or hint?
Ayushi, are you there? I'm texting space. How come there's no response? That's what I said.
Wait, no, I'm pretty sure I said something
I'm
like.
kidding. I made that up.
Because everything we've been talking about has been abstract conversation.
I think I
This
said
is like a
something
real thing.
Yeah, I think I said something like, I'm not sure yet. Like, let's just see each other a few times.
So
or
that's
something
kind of
that.
like a nice way to kind of like let a guy down. Where
No,
it's
but
like,
I like
hey,
seeing
I'm not
people a few
sure.
times before. Like, I can't be sure after one date.
No,
Not
no,
even
I
with
get
like my
it.
ex, I was, but like we
Yeah.
have to hang out a few times
Like-
for me to
Yeah,
be
no,
sure.
it's fair. I get that.
But there was
Did
enough
that,
interest.
do you remember? Like, did that make you feel like, oh, she's probably not interested, or were you kind of like, oh, I should pursue this still?
No, I remember thinking that she wasn't interested, so I just kept moving.
Yeah.
So like, I'm very good at reading. Maybe I read too much. Like, I asked this girl out like a couple of months ago, and I was like, "Oh, we should hang out." And she goes, "I work." I'm like, "Oh, when do you not work?"
I work.
And she goes, "I work every day." And I was like, "Okay, I can read between the lines."
Guys are the worst, dude. Guys have absolutely no manners. They have no pickup skills. They just like, and I don't want to say pickup skills because it's not even a pickup. It's like just talk. Here's a girl. Hi,
Yeah,
how
like,
you doing?
be
My name
yourself
is
and
Locke.
say-
I'm just gonna say whatever I'm gonna say, and then she's gonna say, "Get the fuck out of here," and then I'm gonna get all right, and then I'm out of here.
After you
I don't-
say hi, this is my name. Like, it's similar to texting. Like, you have to engage the person.
Yeah, obviously
Yeah,
that guy's an
engage
idiot.
it.
That guy's an
Engage.
idiot.
I
Yeah.
think he was trying
Or-
to engage by showing like, hey, look, I'm up to an activity. And then I think he would have wanted you to be like, oh, cool, you surf? And then,
I feel like the whole texting back and forth, it's just like, how much can you do on text to get somebody's attention in order for you feeling some sort of way for that person? And
Yeah.
always and everyone's like, don't write these big text messages, just keep it short. Okay, you keep it short, but then it's like, who do I even know? What is this person? And then it doesn't come to like an initial, like an date, and you never talk on the phone.
That's
and,
game
and
101 for guys.
Yeah, and
You've
then
got
this
to
whole
set a date.
game.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
this
God,
guy
I
is
hate-
terrible.
this is-
I keep saying because like literally all he needed to do was, hey, so
Let's
what's
have
your-
a drink
what's
or
your
something.
plan?
And that's
what's
it.
your schedule
Yeah.
next
And
week?
that's it. Once
Is
it's
the
locked,
typical-
that's
yeah.
it. Yay, she made it.
You're
Zara
here.
Ali is here. How are you?
Oh, I can't sit next to a more beautiful woman than me. This is just not going to work out.
Thank you guys. This episode has been wonderful.
Yeah,
I
where
had
do
a
we
great
find you,
talk.
Zara?
You can find me on social media at really Zara,
Great.
Zahra.
Well, please subscribe. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks for coming. I hope everything
Thanks
worked
for
out.
having me. Don't have kids.
We talk shit about you already.
Don't
so
have a
worry about
baby.
it.
Just
Yeah,
don't do it. Don't have a baby. And that's all I can say. You will never show up anywhere on time ever again.
This episode is brought to you by birth control.
Yes. Let me be your birth control.
well, you made it. Hi, I'm Ritu.
Zara, nice to meet you. Richard, hello.
Hello, Zara. How's it going?
I was going to call you out right here because I have a text that I sent you that were unread. And
oh,
Please
sorry.
do it.
Well,
That's what we do
He
here.
was busy. He was at a carnival.
I was at a carnival.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're on the zipper with a 7-year-old.
I was being a good friend. I sent him a happy birthday text and like no response.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. Do you have to respond to a happy birthday text?
yeah, dude.
You do?
You're not going to get one next year.
If it's a text, yeah, it wasn't like a social media like
Well, it's
Facebook.
It's my birthday, so and on
It
my,
doesn't have to be on your
cry if I want
birthday.
to. I will text you.
look.
That's a good point.
It's my birthday, and for my birthday, what I want is for people to, pour adulation on me, and I don't have to do anything.
Okay,
I feel like on your birthday, you're entitled to do anything you
it's
want.
fine.
Yes,
It was your
exactly.
birthday. It's
Thank
fine.
you. Yeah.
It's
On
fine.
your birthday, I'll respond to your happy birthday text.
Okay, sounds good.
Wait, when people wish you happy birthday on Facebook, do you respond to everybody and do you like? all
Not
the comments?
everybody, but I do like go back a few days later and like love and respond.
See, that's
like,
so much pressure. I don't-
Emotions,
It's how you build
Emojis.
connection.
I think it's a girl thing, honestly.
I think it depends on who it was. If it's just like some random dude from high school, like I won't. But if it's like somebody I like love and see or whatever, I'll text them back.
Oh yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
like, and that's why I did it.
I'm just some random dude from high school
We need to
in your
talk.
book.
Yeah.
I gotta help.
Yeah,
Ayushi
you
out.
never get coffee with me.
You've never asked me for coffee. I went on a date with you. I bought you like drinks and dinner or something.
Drinks and dinner is too much, okay? Please. That is
He's like, I'm mentoring
Dinner.
you.
I was mentoring you.
I'm helping you.
I was grooming
I was so hungry on that date, and you weren't like, yeah, that's another feedback for you.
Where'd
I
you
was
guys
really
eat?
hungry.
Where'd you guys
No, we
eat
just
at?
went to this bar
Chipotle?
called. No.
She got the guac and extra steak. I had to pay $3. I was
I
like,
don't
really?
eat steak. I'm vegetarian.
You go up to the
Thank you very
cashier, like,
much.
cancel the guac. She doesn't.
No. We went to Pearl, like this bar called Pearl. That was
Can't you-
right by
can't
his
you
house.
remember
So
that?
I have
I
to
don't
drive. I have to drive all the way from the valley to come to like West Hollywood, so we can go to a place next to him.
Well, I was hoping you get drunk, and I was like, my place is right here.
Oh my god.
Tarun, my parents watch this.
I don't care. Milan, it's not a dating show, Milan, but for some reason, it always
Whenever
goes
we don't want to
into-
answer questions, we should just say my parents watch.
I
this."
literally just said, I'm like, my parents watch this. Tarun, thoda.
My parents don't know about this, so
Oh my God, by the way.
I'm gonna
not-
keep it secret.
Not to change subjects, but Ritu last week, her parents brought like laddus for us.
That's
Aw.
so sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Why?
really nice. I guess it was,
Ganesh Chaturthi.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's okay. I'll balance you out.
So parents are great. I'm glad they support, and my mom's dead.
Why are you saying it like that?
I'm just saying, it's awful.
I feel like that would be really need to like.
I think
go
that was like a
therapy.
comedic release in like a dark way,
I
but
know, but it was so dark, and it was just like so like.
No,
out of
it's awful.
nowhere.
It haunts me every day, and it's.
I need to take you to the temple with me.
I don't go to the temple anymore.
I'm gonna like hold your hand.
I've
and take
lost
you to-
religion. Religion is no longer in my life because of-
Why?
it's let me down tremendously.
You want to talk about it?
Not here.
but you don't need it. I mean,
No, but like.
There you go.
you don't need it.
It's not just about religion, but it's like, do you do any like? Do you believe in spirituality or like mindfulness?
I meditate twice a day. I believe there's a higher power, but I don't believe that if you act according and just, your life's gonna be copacetic. So I feel like there's a lot of random chaosness. I'm sorry if I'm alienating people who are watching this, but that's my
okay, it's
personal
okay.
experience. So I feel like we're kind of on our own here, and there is a higher power, but to that extent, we still have to figure stuff out on our own. Like this roof might collapse on us halfway through this podcast.
I think like the largest growing demographic when it comes to
Sorry, it's like two opposites sitting next to each other.
Neil Bay says, did your community ever want you to become a doctor or engineer?
Yes, my parents, I'm sure, aspired for me to be a doctor and slowly saw my potential not to be a doctor and were like, maybe you should work at a bank.
Doctor to bank?
Yeah,
Like a
because,
teller?
it was like, well, she's not going to be an engineer. She's not going to be a doctor. Maybe she can do something at a bank, like finance, So it was like,
I see,
but
okay.
not bank, like as in like, they didn't know about banking. They were literally like, I remember I actually did a course in high school where like, it was, I don't know what it was, like an internship, but like where we were like bank tellers. So I learned how to like.
You played bank, like I played house.
Is everything like a noun repeated twice? Bank,
like,
bank,
hey,
house,
I played
house,
house,
car,
house,
car.
people-
are you an
Like that.
actor?
That is such a good question. I ask myself that all the time. Am I an actor playing house?
Yeah.
And not going to the bank.
We played banks and robbers or whatever it's called.
I'm sorry. I think I'm so funny sometimes. Sorry.
Both of you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm
yeah,
done.
no, my parents did hope that I would be a doctor. And then they were like, she's not cut out to be a doctor. We get it.
My parents never said
That was
anything
it.
to me.
I can never imagine seeing you as a doctor. Like you go in for like
What?
a checkup and
No.
she like talks to you for like 4 hours.
I can totally
This was
see
supposed
her.
to be a 15-minute checkup.
I can totally see Ritu as a doctor.
What about,
but like
like,
some kind
a-
of like beauty doctor? Like I could go to her and be like,
Oh.
yeah, like
Beauty doctor?
like she'd be
Aesthetics?
like a girl. Yes, aesthetics.
Is that
like,
a doctor still? Oh,
talking
oh,
about
like a plastic surgeon.
Plastic
Yeah,
surgeon.
plastic surgeon.
Yeah, like
Actually,
it would be
funny enough, I did want to be a plastic surgeon at
See,
one point.
I knew it.
But not for what the reasons you think. I wanted to help burn victims because, like, I was
that
like,
is
you know
so
what,
noble.
like, if there is something that I want to do in the medical field, I would want to be a plastic surgeon because, like, it's actually so sad when people get burned and like have like third-degree burns or different things, and people do face so much emphasis on your looks that I was like, I would want to help people feel better about themselves.
You're still making people feel good about themselves by being here.
I go through a lot of that, on a daily, or weekly basis. You question things a lot, and I think, but that's part of that's part of the interest. That's what makes it also something new every day. You're never dealing with the same thing. Every client is different. Every case is different. And I don't do criminal law, but I've talked to lawyers who work with people on death row, and dealing with the death penalty. And that's some heavy stuff. And actually, because of that, I'm really into meditation. I go to meditation retreats with lawyers. Actually, there's a whole retreats for lawyers because it takes a toll if you can't have that
drinking.
The drinking. Alcohol
The
abuse,
arguing.
the arguing. Yeah,
the cocaine.
There's all that. Yeah, there's. Especially my friends at big firms, like the Adderall use, whatever other drugs, like drinking. It's crazy. And I knew.
Daisy's out there, law school.
Yes, exactly.
Myself out. I was very unhealthy. I was gaining weight. I was injured. I messed up my back really badly. Herniated 3 discs. I was just completely torturing myself and debilitating myself. And as I was coming up on 30, I was like, I think I just had a moment. A rock bottom kind of thing. I really broke down and I was like, what am I doing? And I was literally just burning myself out. And I think I hated it. And I think I hated myself. And I was turning 30 and I was like, no, this is not going to happen. So my 30th birthday gift to myself was a one-way ticket to Nepal. And I was going to pause everything work-wise. So clothing line wise, it was basically I told all my clients, hey, I'm skipping a season. You're not going to be getting shipments for spring, summer 2017, right? And 7-Eleven wise, fortunately, I had a manager who was able to run the show. And so I went to Nepal by myself, solo. And I trekked Mount Everest Base Camp.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, dude.
Yeah. It was incredible.
You were I'm just going to hike up by yourself? You had a Sherpa.
I went through a local Nepalese,
they just went by yourself, showed up and you were like, I'm just going to hike this thing.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. You could do it. There's a few different ways you can do it. National Geographic has a version and I think there's a few other versions, but I went the local Nepalese. I got a local guide and so I signed up solo and so it was a 10-day thing. It takes 7 days to trek up, 3 days to come back down. So that was a very unique experience. I was basically off the grid. And then when I got back to Kathmandu, I went to a village about an hour and a half outside of Kathmandu, and I volunteered at a school for 2 months.
We're feel free to wear your Daisy Dukes again. And I was like, oh, to me, it was a hot summer day and I was wearing shorts.
So you walked in here wearing those shorts with no acknowledgement of the audience that watches this and hey, you know what? It's hot outside. I'm gonna wear Daisy Dukes. That's what you're telling me?
Could you clarify, please?
Well, okay, first of all, yes, it was in the heat of the summer, right? So it's what was it, back in August,
September,
July, whatever. No, it wasn't.
December.
Whatever. It's still hot in LA. But yeah, I was wearing shorts. And quite frankly, I'm not going to lie. I had been working out, so I knew my legs looked good and I felt good in them. So I was like, I'm going to wear them.
Yeah.
That's it.
But
I didn't wear it for people.
But do you mind if someone admires? If someone's walking by and goes, man, she's got nice legs.
Yeah, somebody did tell me that week that, oh, wow, you have great legs. And I was like, thank you.
Thank you, right?
Yeah. I worked hard for
There's
them.
nothing
Do you know
wrong
how much
with
I
it.
have to bench press, or not bench press, but whatever that thing is that you lay kind of, you know what I'm talking about? The weight that's right there and you
Leg
push
press.
it. Leg press.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that was some hard work. So I'm glad my legs looked cut and good. It's all gone now because I stopped working out, but
it's documented.
Yes, it's documented. Thanks to those Daisy Dukes.
Well, Richard would have stared at you if he was here.
I would have quickly moved my eyes away.
So you do avert your gaze.
Yeah, but this muscle right here, this to move my eyes is so strong.
Yeah.
From all the having to avert.
Richard, are you an ogler?
I'm 100% an ogler. Yes. But I think women appreciate my ogling because I think not enough men ogle these days.
I think every dude does to some extent, but you're right. You got to be slick about it.
Yeah, I feel like most guys are slick.
If a girl smiles at me, I'm like, oh my God, she's smiling at me. But girls don't do that unless I'm just hideous like Quasimodo nowadays. But I feel like you need that encouragement for someone to actually come over and talk to you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to show appreciation. And also look, I'm trying to not restrict my life and who I am. I want to live my truest self.
Tell him that.
Yeah.
I don't want to restrict my life. I'm going to stare at you.
She's like, what are you looking at? I'm like, I'm not restricting my existence.
And she's going to note that as a red flag.
Is that a red flag that I'm living my truest self? That I'm
Not necessarily, unless you're an ogler.
Hinduism, can you have multiple wives or no?
no.
So only Muslims can in India.
Well, actually, not in India anymore because
So you can't at all.
technically, by Muslim law, yes, there are allowed.
Yeah.
I think it's up to 5 wives or 4
As
wives.
many
I'm
as you
not
can
sure.
afford, I think.
No, I think there is a cutoff.
Oh.
There is a cutoff. But I think it got banned in India. So even if you are Muslim in India, I believe.
I have the Quran back here. Let me see.
Yeah. But you know, it's interesting you asked that question about if you can have multiple wives in India because if you're Hindu, because actually I often think about this while it's not the culture now, there was a time when it was like the reign of like kings
That's what I
and
thought,
queens.
that they
and,
could have multiple.
yeah, like when they had kings
Back
and
in the
queens,
day,
like the
yeah.
kings could have multiple queens.
Yeah.
You know, that was a common thing.
You went from, I just got to get into this. So you went from Philly to LA to do, how did you end up?
Okay, so I went to Philly for college, and then a surprise, my dad died, and then I was like, shit, I'm
That's sad.
depressed.
It's a huge surprise.
Yeah, I was so depressed. I started watching comedy, and the biggest comedian in China, the most famous
Matt Rife.
comedian. No, keep guessing.
Matt Rice.
That's so.
Did you say Matt Lice? Right?
No, he said Matt Rice.
Rice.
Oh, I think Matt Lice.
No, it's a Indian.
Did you have that joke from before, or did you just come up
I
with
just
it
thought
now?
of like what would a crowd work comedian in China be called? I mean, yeah, Nicolas
will
Cage.
be.
I think most of his
think he
acting,
will.
just
Just
wait. Most of his acting can be replaced by AI. But also, one thing about AI is that when it shows up, it's not gonna. Everyone's afraid it's gonna kill us. What's going to happen is it's going to be like a new species. So like it'll just treat us like an elephant, you know? Like if we're in the way, it'll kill us. If we're not in the way, then it'll just let us be.
These girls' faces are hilarious.
No, I can
Both
tell.
of you at the same
Wait,
time.
wait.
Like I'm gonna do close-ups of your faces. When you were saying that, you guys
You
were
know
just
why?
processing.
Because
She's thinking about something else completely different. She's not even listening.
What do you want to say?
I am listening.
I'll tell you. She's thinking about what she's going to have for lunch.
No. If like Tarun was our teacher and he gave us assignment, you failed because he did not read the article, because that's not what the article was about.
But for now today, I brought maza, which Naomi taught me how to pronounce. Would any of you guys like to drink a little bit? This one is unopened here.
Yeah, it's a spike with alcohol.
Sure. The problem is, I think everyone's gonna realize I can't open things.
Oh, let's see it.
Let's see it. Yeah.
I'm gonna really try though.
Let's watch Naomi for the next 45 minutes.
This is a great commercial for maza.
We're gonna run out of time.
It's okay.
This is the only reason I'm heterosexual.
Wait, let's see if Lorraine can do it.
Can you please?
Ooh, wasn't
Wow.
that
Thank
satisfying?
you. Okay, so I don't need men at all. We've determined that.
Yeah, men are irrelevant
you.
completely. That was the final thing that we're actually used for.
Do a shake though.
Are we gonna pass it around like a joint? Is that what we're doing? Like, what are we doing?
Is we are going
To get drunk.
We're going to this comedy show because laughter is the best medicine. So I actually sold you as a healer.
She's bringing all these depressed people to the comedy show. Get ready.
They're not gonna laugh.
I can't. I've been
You're a
tasked with a
healer,
monumental
Richard.
There's a
task.
bunch of Taruns in the audience that can't laugh anymore.
First of all, I can take my life very well.
It's just going to be a bunch of sick people walking in, and they're like, "Heal us, Richard. Make us better." I'm
you
just
might
gonna
walk
be like,
out of there a cult leader afterwards.
Wow.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
have no idea what to expect. It's funny because it's like an 80 or 90 person room. So I don't know if your crowd is going to take up a huge portion of this.
It's so funny we're talking about a comedy show that's going to happen 2 weeks after this.
What happens when you don't send a group text about what we're gonna talk
I
about?
stopped doing that. I'm not sending any more text messages.
Because
to you
nobody
guys.
else did their homework. No one read the article.
No, but even the clothing and stuff, like you guys are on your own.
Wait,
Sure.
I'm sorry.
But no, you were right about the clothing. Look at us.
I don't care.
We look like
wear
we're in
a
a
sari,
funeral.
wear whatever you want. I'm done being OCD about it.
We've progressed and we've been hanging out. We're like, pretty intimately together. So I was like, I don't understand. And then they were like, well, I don't know, maybe I got scared. And I was like, scared. And then it was like excuse after excuse. Like, I didn't know we were exclusive. And I was like, why don't you ask me? Ask me, are we exclusive?
That's the most LA story.
You know?
That's so common.
I think it's all like
I have that a lot too.
You lost me at we hung out every other day. Like, why were you guys hanging out so much? Like, who?
Why not? If you're vibing with someone,
You guys have
what's
no
wrong
life?
with,
Yeah,
what's wrong with hanging out every other? I like hanging out. If I'm into someone, I want to hang out with them
Yeah,
a decent
yeah,
amount. Yeah.
See, I like my alone time.
I like it too, but I'm alone all day, all the time. So it's like, come over and let's have dinner and watch a movie or something. Like every
I don't
other
think
day.
there's anything wrong with hanging out every other day and like being on the. I think you meant like also like on the phone and everything, right? Like you were like constantly like talking on the phone.
Yeah, because like, okay, so here's the
She's
thing.
like, we moved in together. Why are you guys freaking out? We lived together for 6 weeks, and he would leave. It was work, but it was other dates. It was a million. I make him chai. He takes it to the date.
What she said was completely wrong, and I wish Naomi was
they
here.
went on a date.
What?
They went on a date?
Yeah.
You were absolutely wrong.
my
You said I
God.
dismissed you.
Yeah, you did dismiss me.
Totally off,
Mom
and you
Dad.
know that for a fact.
No.
Absolutely.
That is not
You
true.
know this for a fact.
Funny.
Nope, nope.
Hold on.
nope.
So she was on. She said we went on a date. She just brought it up out of the blue, and she said I dismissed her. I went home that day because I write down everything incessantly. You know that.
You wrote down the date?
I'm like a maniac.
Oh, okay.
I'm a good person. Like I said before, I'm a good person. I was like, I wouldn't do that to a girl. And you dismissed me.
How did I dismiss you?
And I wish I had my journal here. And I said, I'll even bring it next time. I said,
Are you
yeah.
gonna cry or something?
No. Am I gonna cry? Don't try to change the subject. And
Let
I
him
said,
finish.
and
I'm
I
so
said,
curious.
yeah,
Let him
exactly.
finish. I'm sorry.
And
yeah.
I said, oh, Ayushi, I was like, do you want to hang out again? You said, I'm really busy till after this date or something like that. And you were like, you'll get back to me or something. And then I was like, so when a girl says that to me, I put that in her court. I'm like, all right, if she likes me, she'll get back to me. You'd never replied back to me.
This was years ago?
Years ago.
Like 5-6 years
Also,
ago.
Ayushi, I was a film critic, and that acting right now is not working, honey. I see the guilt on your face, girl.
But
You're supposed to be
hold on.
my side.
Hold on.
I'm
Ayushi-
Punjabi sister. I've never told you that.
Ayushi-
You be cutting.
I could not care less that you moved on, which is totally fine.
I didn't move on.
But you smeared my name on this podcast, and I actually told Naomi this because you're right. Naomi, I did talk to Naomi about the episode, and I told her I was like, "Yo, I just admitted something which wasn't even true."
Sorry, it must have been confusing because it's been so many years.
So you thought I
19.
just dismissed you?
I think I felt that maybe that is what happened.
I will bring my journal and read it out
Okay,
loud.
why? Fine. Maybe I stand corrected. So
Welcome to the Convo Sutra, Isha.
This is so different from
Shit
last
just
time.
got real.
I stand corrected.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. It wasn't just you, by the way. All the girls previous to you, it was just like I learned how to. We were talking about detachment from relationships, which you learn.
there's no privacy on this podcast.
But you learn from all this stuff, and you become stronger. Like she's become stronger. Ritu's
Learn
become
from
stronger.
what?
You learn from the relationships.
This
With
is
your
getting
boyfriend.
too real.
Don't let the pessimism
That's
of
what people say to me.
get
I'm too
you.
real.
Yeah.
You said
Everything
it
will
wasn't.
work out fine for
Okay,
you.
yeah, I'm kidding. Joking. JK. How she would say JK.
We've all have our baggage, apparently, that we've all said on this podcast.
No, I
And it's-
honestly, I really, I stand corrected because I thought that's what happened. But like it's also been many years, so maybe like I was confusing it with some other person.
We'll start a journal.
Okay, fine. Now I go sit and write every date in my journal.
Isha, advice to you: you start a
Yes.
journal,
I start a journal.
and so that way you
And
have
talk about
everything. Well, you write your feelings and
But I
everything.
do remember your.
That's actually a nice. I should do that.
No, honestly, it's probably the one authentic thing that I've done for decades, and I love it. It's the one escape I
Really?
have.
Honestly, like I like painting, so like art is like my therapy.
Before we leave, I want to thank all of you for coming by.
I didn't even know it was
Never
starting.
come again.
But it makes sense where you are now because you've taken all of that stuff and turned it into personality.
I never thought I'd put a towel on my head and fake a relationship with myself, but
It's so real.
But that's where it's come to now.
Where did the genesis of the towel come from?
Okay, so the genesis of the towel came from I used to do a lot of lip sync content, and then I lip synced to a Kim Kardashian, like the Keeping Up with Kardashians, and I was doing it like without the towel, and I thought it would work better if they were like in a spa, and having the conversation. So that's where I first put the towel on my head, and it just like kept falling off and kept falling off. But that's kind of, and then that kind of caught on. And so I just kept, doing it, and it's become like my trademark.
It is your trademark.
Did you
I'm kind of
trademark
sad
it?
you don't have a towel on your head right now.
Like, I think people would freak out if you had like a wig on.
Yeah, people
instead.
say they don't
Yeah.
recognize me without the towel.
Without
they
the-
ask me, like if I'm on a trip, they're like, "Where is Bae?
Dao?
Is she?
Yeah.
Is she? You know?"
It's like you almost can't get offended by like towel head jokes.
No.
That's funny. Do you ever feel that, like, because you do so many reels and everything, like, do you feel that when you go on set and you work with, co-actors, or you're
Yeah.
meeting someone, like, do they get disappointed by, like, oh, he has this persona online, but then he's a different person, like, in
I
person?
feel disappointed
For them?
for them in a way, because I get very self-conscious because I'm very introverted, and I'm very I'm not like a great talker, and I'm not a great like conversationist all the time unless I feel like super comfortable.
Yeah.
So it takes me some time to find grounding, to find my space. And then I always just get self-conscious of whether I hope I was just nice to them, and they didn't come out of that interaction like, oh, he's a jerk, or he was not.
No, actually, no, I don't think that at all.
He was, just uninterested. So I always appreciate people coming up to me and saying hi and, being nice. But it's a different version of myself. So I approach it all like acting. So it's just like a different role. So it's like, that's how I am as myself is very different than what I present on social media.
I did a commercial with Rahul, and when I saw his name on the call sheet, I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting, because I've watched his reels and I expected that sort of persona in,
And then she
in
met me.
reality.
It's
But he
always
was
like
quiet.
the shy, quiet ones.
Yeah.
With the wacky,
but he was like
energy.
shy and quiet
Yeah.
on set, and like I think maybe I was trying too hard also, because I was like, I follow him and like I'm kind of a fan, so, and I like watch his reels and everything. But yeah, you're right. Like you do have that like you do see it as a role.
Especially on set, I'm sometimes a little to myself because there's just so much work to do.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of focus that's required. So it usually depends on the role and what's being asked. But I mean, that was a commercial, but it's new environment. So I'm I get very internal.
But eventually, you're going to be a mom, and you're going to look back at your content and be like, "Yay, look at me! This is me dancing on a Ferrari, like in a
But
bikini."
what if that's fine with their
Yeah.
worldview, right?
Yeah, maybe you're
With
right.
who? With who?
Like, what if they don't regret it? Like, what if it's just fine? Like, it's in how you look at it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that means your home's your home's broken essentially.
Why?
I don't
Why
know.
does it mean that?
You're right. I mean, it's a matter of perspective.
It also depends what you're talking about.
I mean, do you have that problem like with fans and people coming at you?
Oh yeah, I've gotten my share of angry tweets and stuff. I used to retweet them all because I thought they were funny. But
it sounds
You
like
used
you.
to retweet who?
like my hate tweets.
Okay.
What did they say?
My favorite one ever.
I can't believe people hate you. By the way, that's insane to me.
I think there's a lot of people that can't differentiate what you do on a show versus what you, like who you are as a actual human being. My favorite one was, it wasn't even addressed to my character name, but I was a character that people hated on a show. And they go, "Dear Sunkrish, row your boat gently off a cliff."
Oh,
It's just clever.
Thanks for being here. Hope you guys are all successful. Till next time, take care.
Bye.